On at least 2 different videos, I've talked a little bit about the use of white vinegar versus the AeroGarden Hydroponic No-Rinse Cleaner in terms of cleaning hydroponic units. The white vinegar is currently around $2.50 to $4 for a gallon. And the hydroponic no-rinse cleaner, I can get this for around $20 to $25 depending on current pricing. With the white vinegar, I'll pour the entire jug into an AeroGarden. So with something like a AeroGarden Bounty unit, that allows me to fill this up and take the parts of the deck and drop into it and let those soak. Whereas the AeroGarden Hydroponic No-Rinse Cleaner is a product that they have told me is better designed for putting into the hydroponic unit and allowing it to continue to cycle. And this has percarbonate in it. For a Bounty like the model I just showed you, they suggest 1 tablespoon of cleanser. So, that's going to last you a little while. And some other people have actually used citric acid. Citric acid is probably going to be more on par with the no-rinse cleaner. So my first encounters, I expected this to be more like the vinegar, but in actuality, I'm finding that both products are working okay for me, but depends on what you want to do with those and how much time you have. The problem that I had with the AeroGarden product was where I live, I have a lot of calcium and iron in the water, and a garden unit such as this will actually have orange around the outside of it, as well as the deck lid will have calcium build up on it, which, if you're looking, it will be that white haze in most instances that builds up over time. So I like to try to keep my gardens as clean as possible. So the problem that I ran into was I put in the no-rinse cleaner, and the sides of this unit continued to look dirty. So I just let it sit. And as I mentioned, this is designed to be circulated through the system. But after over a week of just sitting in there, you could tell that it's actually done a pretty good job. It just seems to have worked slower. And I would still suggest taking the gardens, if you have a lot of organic matter, and putting those in a dishwasher, or just taking maybe some dish soap and a brush and scrubbing the inside of those before you do any cleaner to take off residual minerals and other byproducts. The AeroGarden itself, the sprout models are a lot simpler to get in and out of, but there are several pieces on the larger models. Good areas for mineral buildup to start happening. Another area is along the crevices of the water indicator that goes inside. The pump is just a magnet for debris, and on the inside of this pump, if you do take it apart, this pulls off as well as that stem pulls off, and it's a good idea to get in there to clean. But I'd like to show you the results of soaking these larger components. The no-rinse cleaner, even though it has maybe a slight, get in there a little tighter, maybe a slight haze, has actually done a much better job than I anticipated. There was a little bit of roots where the water indicator is at that I had to get in and clean after soaking and wiping these down with a paper towel. Yeah, that's another thing that I was going to mention, is that with a no-rinse cleaner, even though you could just keep going with it, I like to get in after using that product and use paper towels to clean with. But I picked up this turkey roaster pan the other day, and I'll try not to dump it, but it's actually one of the largest pans that I could find, and it's just big enough to sit the deck components into without wasting vinegar or cleaner. And that is the deck. This is the top of the AeroGarden planting area, and see how clean that is? This area right along the top here, nice and clean too. The back side, that is just an awful area for roots and minerals. But this is looking really nice. This is part of this. It's actually a two-part product, and it has little tabs that you can push in to pull apart. First time you do it, it's a little tricky, but once you've done it once, it gets a lot easier. And as I mentioned, after taking this out, I take a paper towel and I just try to wipe it up. I like to have my garden products nice and clean, presentation style, especially considering that they're in an office environment. But I did want to update everybody and basically advise that maybe I was a little hasty on suggesting that the no-rinse cleaner was not as effective as white vinegar. I would say that that's still true, but it's a lot narrower margin than I originally suggested. However, here's my thoughts. That works. That works. Just depends what you want, because this works faster, this works a little slower, but at the same time, this is a much better product in terms of being compact and not having to have heavy gallons of vinegar sitting around on a regular basis. So there you go.